You know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. I always tell y'all that if you got an issue with something that I'm doing, you're free to put it in my DM at Unique Mecca Audio, the same name as the YouTube channel. Put in the DM. We try and keep the comments positive. If I see any negative comments, I got no tolerance. I delete it. Now, I had a brother play by the rules. His name is Vaughn. At Instagram, he's at Your Majesty 079. He's from the south side of Chicago, from 79th Street. Now, he called me all the way from Chicago because he said that he agreed to disagree with the way I explained the Boston Sam joint when I told him that being that, Boston Sam went and sold a knife, to a white dude that, he had to be, chastised for that. And the white dudes came to us to tell us that, your man violated, so therefore, either you check him or we check him. Now, Sam ain't nothing nice. He ain't going for no checking. Like I said, he don't put his work in back in Allenwood back in 99, and now we all the way up at like 2009. You know what I mean? So he don't put his work in. This is what he do. Now, he knew he violated, and he knew the consequences of violated, but he was ready for it because he's not leaving to go to another compound with it on his jacket that he checked in because he ain't never checked in. That's the worst thing you want is to go to another jail and they ask you, why did you get here? How did you get here? Why are you here? You don't want to tell them that, oh, I checked in because. There's no because after checked in. Just like I told because. No, there's no because after you told. Period. You understand? Because we have a straight line. It's either black or white. That's it. Now, the homie Vaughn called me and he let me know that he don't think that we should have allowed, the white dudes to tell us, what to do with Sam. Now, I had to break it down to him at the end of the conversation. He understood it, so I'm going to run back the conversation that me and my man Vaughn from Chicago had. I explained to him that he sold the knife to the white dude, or he give the knife to the white dude. The white dude running his own car, but the two of them is working together. That's why when you go into prison, the Mexicans don't mess with the blacks. The whites don't mess with the blacks. You understand what I'm saying? And everybody stay in their lane, and it is what it is. So you don't want to sit there and sell a knife or give a knife to the opposition, and then they come back or their associate come back and use that same knife on one of us. Meaning, Sam could have gave the knife to the white dude. The white dude used it for what he was supposed to use it for, to handle his business that, the homie sanctioned. But then we turn around, and then here we go. The white dude has one of his friends come to him and say, man, I got a beef. Let me get that knife you got. He don't know who he got the beef with or none of that. You understand what I'm saying? Dude, just tell him, let me get the joint. I got to go put some work in. He go give him the knife, and then now the white dude take the knife and he goes back and he puts work in on a black dude that rolls with us, or a black dude in general. Because we ain't going to let no white person do anything to any black person from any car, any area, geographical location, or none of that. No outside race put their hands on another race. The same way if a white dude violate, we'll go to the white dudes and say, yo, your man violated. Either y'all check him or we check him. You understand what I'm saying? Because the same thing like your child outside playing and he throws a rock and break the window, or he does whatever, the neighbor will go and talk to the parent and say, your child did this, you know what I mean? And, you need to talk to him because he's violating the neighborhood. But the neighbor is not going to sit there and scold the child and tell the child what he did wrong. It's up to the parent, just like it's up to the car, if y'all understand that. I'm taking it nice and slow. I slow down talking fast. I'm going to do my little fast talking in a minute because I know y'all like that. But it's a serious topic for y'all to understand. It's the same thing like you're on the street, a dude come and he borrows a gun. Dude lives over there on, me and the homie was talking, so I learned about Old Block and, and I think he said 63rd, a couple of blocks away. So dude comes from Old Block and borrows a gun from his cousin, on 63rd, Now he goes back and he shoots somebody, from 63rd with that gun he got from 63rd. But his cousin is the one that gave him the gun. You understand what I'm saying? So now he's just as responsible, for the shooting as the man that pulled the trigger, because he gave him the catalyst to be able to pull the trigger. So that's why, I was mentioning about the joint in out of town, down in the South, when, a smack dude with the pistol, and he went back and talked to one of his homies that was also cool with the crew that I was holding down, why I had the smack dude with the pistol, So they go to him and say, yo, let me get a gun because this dude, Unique came from New York and smacked me in the face with the pistol and I'm going to go get him, you know what I mean? And, and such and such and them. You understand? Because, I don't say names, you know what I mean? I don't even say locations and certain things because I don't want it to be misconstrued and as nigga telling nigga this and that. No, I'm just using scenarios so you don't know where I'm talking about, who I'm talking about, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, just so the youth could understand. That's why I say don't get involved in the street, because this is how serious this is. Could you imagine you in prison, to you youngins, you know what I mean? Even the elders that's trying to comprehend where I'm coming from. Could you imagine you in prison and you get mad at a white dude in the kitchen because, you know what I mean? He walked by and his coat knocked your plate off the table, and then now the administration don't want to give you another meal, and you tell them, yo, you need to go get me another tray because you knocked over my tray. And they tell you, man, I'm not getting you nothing. You know it was an accident, and you know they're not going to give me nothing either. So right now, you ain't got nothing to eat. So now you decide that you want to go put the knife in this dude because he violated. You know what I mean? And he talks slick to you. You know what I mean? Now, the procedures is you're supposed to go to whoever call he in and say, yo, your man knocked my tray over, y'all owe me a tray, man. Either, y'all get me a tray, get your man to get me a tray, or it's going to be a problem in here. You understand what I'm saying? But, keeping it 100, in a situation like that, when it just pop off, you pop off. A dude tell you he ain't getting the tray or whatever after you knock the tray over, you just get to swinging and pushing that thing. You know what I mean? That's how that is, to keep it 100. So that's not really a good scenario for this. But let's say a dude owe you money. Let's take that one. Because like I said, there's certain things that you ain't going to be able to go to nobody to tell them to check them because it's an automatic violation. You know what I mean? Like I said, if something happened in the kitchen, dude knocked the tray off the table and he talks shit that he ain't trying to give it to you, you know what I mean? Not promoting nothing, just telling you how it is on the inside. You go in his mouth. You know what I mean? You got that thing with you, you put it up in them deep. Put that knife deep up in them. You know what I mean? And I'm not promoting that. I'm just telling you how it is on the inside so y'all know don't go on the inside. So could you imagine knocking over somebody's tray and, you know what I mean? And, now he wants to put the knife in you because you accidentally knocked over the tray. Simple things like that. But now, let's say a dude owes you money because he bought something from you and, said that he's going to pay you on store day because you got a store going. Now, if store day come, he don't get your stuff, and you feel like you want to do something to him, that's when you go to his car and say, yo, your man owe me, and either you're going to give me my money, you know what I mean, or I'm going to take it in blood. You know what I mean? So y'all need to either get with him, get me my money, you know what I mean, or we going to war because I'm not going to have that. You know what I mean? So now, if it's legitimate, the other car you go to, they're going to tell you straight up, nah, let us handle it. Now they'll go and, 9 times out of 10, they'll pay the debt if he don't have the debt, but they're going to punish him for even, ass betting. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how it will go, man. So this is how prison is. But now let me get back to my man Vaughn from the south side, 79th Street. He was saying he didn't agree with us allowing, the white dudes to dictate. The white dudes didn't dictate. The white dudes, they came, they brought their difference to us. We heard their difference, and they was right because you're not supposed to, sell a knife to the opposition. So I don't even remember if it was that Sam sold him the knife or he gave him the knife, whatever it was. But I think Sam gave him the knife. You know what I mean? But, because like I said, I do mine's fresh off the head. So if y'all want to nitpick, but you know what it is, you know what I'm saying. You don't give the opposition a knife, bottom line. Whether the white dude gave the Sam or Sam gave the white dude, you don't do that. You know what I mean? But the white dudes put the press on the white dude to find out where he got the knife because they know he didn't have a knife. You know what I mean? That's the way this scenario played out. And he told him that Sam got it. So right there, Sam was supposed to punish the white dude for throwing him under the bus. You know what I mean? That's one. So y'all pay attention, youngins. If you want to try and get down and try and understand the mechanics of how this penitentiary thing go and this street thing go, because it's all coincide. It's the same thing like we on the street and, you know, I got a beef with Johnny and I go to Fred and tell him, yo, I got a beef with Johnny, let me get a gun. Now, if I give him that gun, then that means that I'm down with him and, you know, Johnny is also my enemy. You know what I mean? That's why you got to pick a side. There's no straddling the fence. There's no none of that. You know what I mean? But all this is to say that my DM is open right there on the screen. Unique Mecca Audio and Instagram. You know what I mean? And, you know, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Bring it over there. We're not going to do this keyboard gangster thing because we too gangster for that. You know what I mean? So let's get that right. We definitely not going to do that. You know what I mean? But that's where we at. Just so everybody fully understand. We don't play these games, and, you know, if you violate, you violate. That's why I say Sam's a straight man. He knew he violated, so he was like, man, you already know they coming, you know what I mean? Because they know they got to come. Because if they would have did the same thing, he would have went and been on the front line to chastise whoever it is in the car that did, you know, what he did. You know, just like when I said, when I got hit in the head with the lock, boop. You know what I mean? Dude busted my nose, separated nose from the lip. I ain't got no problem telling you about that. And I told you I was wrong. And I even told you, big shout out to the dude that bust me in the face with the lock. Big shout out. Give him a round of applause. Give me a round of applause. You know what I mean? That's how it is. You know, you got to wear yours, man. Just like you on the street. You know, when I got knocked, I had a little Cali cartel. I had a bunch of Dominicans up in Washington Heights was giving me drugs. I knew I had, you know, some dudes out the Bronx, Lower East Side. I mean, I mingled in the soul with everybody, and, you know, I got from them too. They got from me, and we did our thing. When I got locked up, they tried to tell me, the government tried to tell my lawyer to tell me that I could help myself by telling them where I got the drugs. I can't do that. I got caught. I got to wear that. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever came with that, meaning that 26 years of misery that I'm trying to prevent the youth from going down, whatever comes with that comes with that. I got caught, so I got to deal with the reaction to my action of selling drugs and slipping and getting bagged. Not me trying to make my time lighter by saying, let me bring Johnny in or Bobby in or Kenny in and you know, Timbuktu or whoever. You know what I mean? Because they didn't get caught. I got caught. That's the same thing like a funny joke I heard back in the days on one of the Death Comedy Jam. I don't know who the first one that started it. So y'all know, put it in the comments. Where they say dude goes and, you know, he robs a house or he robs a bank. And, you know, the two of them run off. And then they, you know, one is hiding behind the bushes. And the police caught the other one. And he's telling them, come on, Johnny, come on out. They got us, man. You know what I mean? Nah, they got you. I'm good behind the bushes. Nigga, you tell them I'm behind the bushes. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's how that is, man. You get caught, you wear yours. That's why I tell you, don't get involved in it. Don't go on the street. So you ain't got to worry about none of that. You ain't got to wear none of that. Ain't none of that got to happen. It is what it is. So me and my man Vaughn was kicking it. I wound up exchanging phone numbers with him from the Instagram conversation because he's on man time and, you know, he did it, you know, the proper man way. And he DM'd me and said, yo, I don't agree with, you know, with what you said as far as, you know, allowing the white dudes to tell y'all that you had to do something the same. So I gave him these same scenarios that I'm giving y'all because I took it like maybe some of y'all don't really, you know, understand it either. Like he didn't really understand the mechanics of it. And after I talked to him, gave him the scenarios and, you know, he voiced his opinion back and we had a good conversation. And, you know, at the end of the conversation, he said, okay, now I can see where you at, you know? Because like I said, let's take it like this. You know what I mean? Now, you got a cousin over there in St. Nick Projects. You live over in the Polo Grounds. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody violates you over there in St. Nick Projects, and you go to your cousin in St. Nick Projects and tell him, yo, let me get a gun. I got a beef. That's your cousin. You're going to give him the gun. You ain't even going to ask him who it is unless he tell you want to come. Because he might say, yo, who the beef with? Be like, nah, I'm going to handle this myself. Just give me the banger. So now he done gave you the joint. Click, clack. You know what it is. He done threw one in the chamber. He ready to go out and bust off. You know what I mean? So now he done ready to go bust off. And he go over there to the St. Nick Projects. And he go shoot somebody. You know what I mean? Now he go shoot that person. That person get killed. And then now he goes back home. And when he walk back in his house, You know what I mean? A couple of hours later, his mama in there with one of her friends, and both of them is in there crying. They're both crying. You know what I mean? And he walk in, of course, it's going to hurt him seeing mama crying. That's the last thing you want to do is see mama crying. So they say, damn, mommy, what happened? And he'd be like, nah, Miss Ruby's son got killed. You know what I mean? Over there in St. Nick Projects. And you thinking like, damn, I just killed the nigga in the projects. I done killed my mama best friend to bring this misery in our home. You know? But I didn't even know that that was Miss Ruby's son. You know what I mean? I only seen Miss Ruby a couple of times and didn't never really see her. You know what I mean? And she never brought her son over here, nothing, because her and my mama cool. You know what I mean? But I didn't know who her son was. That's why a big shout out to OG Daniel, man. Big shout out to OG Daniel. Let's give OG Daniel a round of applause, man. Big shout out. Big shout out to OG Dan and everybody that was involved in putting this together while I was incarcerated during my 26 years. They put together a thing called Heaven Up in Harlem. Now, Heaven Up in Harlem is for the people that got killed by gun violence and is up in heaven from Harlem, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, or wherever. But they just labeled it Heaven Up in Harlem because it started out small and it expanded and wound up being a powerful movement. Now, that movement is something that we have every year. You know, I didn't even put up the video from last year. I got to put a soundtrack behind it. So I might put it up now that I mention it again because it's in my archive. Now, that movement is so that when everybody come together, you know what I mean? We bring our nieces, nephews, cousins, cats, dogs, so everybody know who's related to who, because if you know who's related to who, you're less likely to bring them harm. Right or wrong? Could I get a round of applause? All right, so that's where we at. But now let me say this so y'all fully understand. Now on my channel, I bring up these scenarios that I'm bringing up because these are things that, you know, we all, everybody involved, you know, already got time, did time. The administration already know about it. Everything is documented because when something happened, you know what I mean? They sent out memorandums letting them know that they're hiding razor blades in the cigarettes because they stopped somebody. They don't sell cigarettes no more, but this is old. Like when they first stopped the razor blades. When they found out about the razor blades, how vicious they was and what they do to you, they turned around and somebody had cigarettes in a matchbook. Now, you know a matchbook. I mean, I like to have my little props, man. I might do a whole joint on it so I can show you the props so you get the visual. I want you to see what I see. That's why I tell you, don't get involved doing it because I'm going to be your ears and eyes to the madness that I experience. Now, we got a little matchbook and we got a single edge razor blade, you know, like a Gillette razor blade. Now you take the razor blade, that's what we put in our mouth, so if somebody act up, we spit it out and rip them real quick. You know what I mean? That's more deadly than a knife because it cuts so swift that they don't even know they cut. You know what I mean? I give you some scenarios how dude was cut, kept fighting and wound up just falling out just from a razor blade, ripping him up. You know what I mean? Lost too much blood. But anyway, so he took the razor blade and took the matchbook and put the razor blade behind the matches. You know, the matchbook come with like, you know, X amount of matches in it. You put the razor blade behind it, you close it, and you put it in your pocket. They were selling cigarettes, so they had matchbooks in the joint. You know what I mean? That they gave you at the commissary. So when they give you the matchbook, you put your razor blade behind there and you walk through wherever, and the razor blade is so thin it didn't even pick up at the metal detector. But back then we didn't even have metal detectors because they didn't expect the level of violence that we wound up bringing in when they brought us in from the war on drugs. You know what I mean? From the crack era. You know, the worst era. You understand? So now the police, you know, pulled over somebody, could dude rip somebody, you know, cut them all up in the face, and then, you know, when they was strip searching everybody and patting them down, you know, a dude had a razor blade behind the matches. So now they know that we keep the razor blade behind the matches. Because you police pull you over, you got a cigarette in your hand, and you got the book of matches in your hand, and you talking to them with the cigarette, and they see the matches. They're not gonna say, "Let me see the matches," because they know it's matches, and they can see it's not bulky. It's just a pack of matches. You know what I mean? So now, when they searched and then they found the razor blade behind it, they sent out a memorandum to all the jails to let them know that the inmates are putting razor blades behind the matches. So now that's busted. Yeah, right? Just like, you know, one of the homies got caught for putting balloons of weed in the popcorn bag. You understand? So one of these crazy YouTubers was jumping, oh, he's telling about this. The guy got caught with it. No. When the dude got caught with the balloons in the popcorn bag, because they were selling the popcorn, you could eat the popcorn and put your hands in it. So you grab a couple of popcorns with a balloon and you put it in your mouth with the thing, and they see you putting the popcorn in your mouth. They don't know what you putting in your mouth like that, so they think it's the popcorn. Now they done busted one of the homies doing that, so then they put out a memorandum and send them to all the visiting halls in the BOP saying they're putting drugs, the balloons, in the popcorn. So then they went and started getting little paper plates. So when you buy your popcorn, you got to dump it all out on the razor on a little plate in front of the police booth so that they can see that it's nothing but popcorn in the bag, on the plate from in the bag. So all this is already documented, man. So, we got the trolls that gonna come on and say, oh, he telling. Nah, this is shit that we're talking about 30 years ago. Because, the popcorn thing, that happened all the way back in 95. You know what I mean? And what year is it? We talking about, 32 years later? You know what I mean? Come on, man. You know what I mean? Or the 28 years, whatever it is, I can't even count it, man. Because like I said, a lot of that I try to block out. Like when I talk to my man, he always say, man, I don't know how you remember all that stuff in prison, or, from when we was on the street busting our gun, because I try and block that out and just go on with my life. No, I still need therapy. You know what I mean? Because I done see it too much. So this is my therapy talking to y'all. So I hope y'all don't mind me talking to y'all, man. But this is what it is. I'm just letting y'all know straight up that it's real in the Ville. You know what I mean? So as long as we stay cool and we respect each other's boundaries, you know what I mean? Meaning, don't mess with that car. That car ain't gonna mess with you. Because like I said, to go back to what my man Vaughn initially DM'd me on, he DM'd me because the dude turned around and, sold a knife to the white dudes, and the white dudes came to the black dudes and said, y'all need to check him because he sold a knife to us. So now we had to punish him for that. But the white dudes couldn't touch him. If they would have touched him, even if he wrong, we gonna punish him. You don't touch one of ours, and we definitely not gonna touch one of yours. Because when it do, then it become a full-blown race riot. That's where all the blacks from Bloods, Crips, Chicago, Detroit, California, Tennessee, Dirty South, New York and New Jersey and Philly and, Baltimore, all of us that's together that, make up the Muslim car, and we all roll together. You know what I mean? We're not going to say, oh, that dude from Dirty South or the white dude is right to jump on him, because we'll let them believe that they're allowed to jump on one of us because they're from another state or another car. Then before you know it, they're going to try and jump on us too. So we got to show that unity. Like when the deuces go off in the prison. The deuces is, the sirens saying that something has happened. The police got a little radio on his hip and he pushed the button. When he pushed that button and it go off, the first thing you do, you know what I mean? The first thing you do when them deuces go off, you understand what I'm saying, is you get down, because everybody that works in the prison is going to come running to that situation to aid and assist that officer that hit the panic button on his hip. So the police don't say, oh, I don't like, correction officer such and such, so I'm not going to go because that's his body alarm. No, they all go to show that force, that they move together as one, and that's how we have to move as one, if somebody do something to our race, period. But other than that, we separated in, like I said, Bloods, Crips, Chicago, Detroit, Dirty South, Jersey, Muslim, everybody got all this going on. But we come together when it's time to come together. Like, I'm going to give you another one to take you how it works in the street, too, the same way. Now, I know dudes that used to be beefing with each other up there in Washington Heights. The buildings, y'all been to Washington Heights, y'all know. If you haven't, I'm going to take y'all up there and let you see a video. So put in the comment if you want to see a video of Washington Heights, what I'm talking about. Because I'm here to give you what you want and what you need to prevent you from going down the same path I went down, so you ain't got to wind up in the same crap that I went through. You understand what I'm saying? So now, the buildings next to each other, and they got an alleyway between the building. When you're walking up the staircase, both staircases is facing each other with an alleyway in the middle. So when a customer come up the block and, he trying to buy some drugs, you got a bunch of runners outside that work for the people upstairs. You know what I mean? So when they working for the people upstairs, they'll tell them, come on, Poppy, we got it over here, we got it over here. And they take him over there. So on Monday, dude go upstairs to building 1, on the left. So then on Tuesday, dude coming, there's no runner out there from building 1. So somebody from building 2 grab him and take him upstairs. As he's walking upstairs, here go the people coming down from building 1, and he see the customer from the day before going up the stairs in building 2 with building 2's runner. So now what happened? They start busting out the window. The dude that feel like the dude is stealing his customer, he might start shooting at him out the window, him and the customer. Both of you got to go. You know, let's get it right. You know what I mean? So you never know. You know what I mean? So to prevent that, you understand what I'm saying? Now, that's how that go. The same way they were just shooting at each other, let's say 10 minutes later, another customer come and he goes upstairs in building 2, the same building that just stole the customer for building 1. Now, when he go up there and he robs the spot, you know what I mean? And the dude from building 1 yell out, Agua, Agua, you know, dude robbed me. Everybody's going to come together, including the man that was just shooting at him 10 minutes ago. Is going to go to help that man that just got robbed because they showing the unity on the block. Like, they could beef with each other. You know what I mean? They could do whatever with each other. But you can't cross the line, you know what I mean? And take nothing from either one of them because they all together. And that's how the cards roll. Now, I've been on here long enough. Cash App on the screen. I don't care if it's $1, $5. Support the movement, man. You know what I mean? The game is to be sold, not told. Y'all getting all types of game. Cop the book of Rowan Harlem. You know what I mean? Follow me on Instagram. Whatever gripe you got, put it in the Instagram and come at me as a man or a woman with some respect and just let me know, Unique, I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? And we could go from there. But we don't need to put no stupid ass comments in the thing when you can't get to my neck and I can't get to your neck. You know what I mean? So we don't need to do none of that fake gangster fighting because I never learned how to fight with one of them keyboards, man. I learned how to fight with a knife, pistol, and these. You know what I mean? And that's it. So if y'all want to fight, that's how we going to fight. We're not going to do none of this keyboard thing, man. And we're not even going to try and fight. You know what I mean? We're going to try like me and my man Vaughn from Southside 79th Street, Chicago did. We agreed to disagree. But at the end of the day, we agreed. You understand what I'm saying? We agreed. And that's what it is. So I'm about to tap out, man. You know, God bless you. I thank y'all for coming in. You know what time it is. Make sure if you're not subscribed, you subscribe. Subscribe, man. And start sharing these videos with your friends because we need to get the word out there to the youth so they understand what happened. Share these videos. All right? They got the share button. Just hit that share button and it'll pop up on your screen. You know, all your contacts from your phone numbers to your DMs to your Facebook to your Instagram. Send it to somebody, man. All right, just send the video to somebody, but make sure you subscribe, like, and at least hit the emoji. If you can't do the Cash App, hit the emoji, and I'm cool with that. Put UMA, you know what I mean, for Unique Mecca Audio, and an emoji or a number of emojis, and that helped me, you know, get in the rotation so that we could get the word out to the people and do what need to be done. All right.
Hi guys, welcome to Platinum Cuisines. We're located in Freeport on the Nautical Mile. Just wanted to introduce my partner, Amy.
Hi guys, how are you? And this is my sister-in-law, Diana, another partner. I just ask that you come support our minority-owned business. We serve Asian fusion, Caribbean cuisine, and we have a beautiful restaurant located on the Nautical Mile in Freeport, New York. And we're asking that you come check us out and also make sure to tune in to Mecca Audio TV.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Yeah. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio.
Mecca what? Mecca Audio.
drive like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top Beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. Baby horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.